Welcome to Recap Lounge. Today we will discuss the romantic movie called If Only. There are spoilers ahead. The movie takes us through a day in Ian and Sam's lives. The day ahead is huge for both Ian, who has a business meeting, and Sam, who has her concert that evening. Ian is driven to do well at work and overlooks Sam's needs, making her feel neglected. Until there's a tragedy, leaving Ian with regret and possibly getting a chance to make things right. Enjoy. The movie begins with Samantha looking over Ian's shoulder and stating how much she's going to miss him. Sam is going home to Ohio and she would like Ian to tag along for her mother's wedding. Ian is more focused on his meeting and gives Sam a look, which tells her he's not going with her. As they get ready for the day, Sam burns her hand on the kettle and Ian gets some ice, asking if it's better. They leave for work. Ian then goes on to mention that if they don't talk today, they can have dinner at 7, leaving Sam surprised. Ian forgot about Sam's graduation concert, which she has been preparing for 3 years. Sam is hurt and wishes him good luck for his meeting as they part ways. A man on a scooter accidentally spills Coca-Cola on Sam and she goes home to change. Ian rehearses his speech and breaks his watch against a post box, leaving it stuck at 11 p.m. At the same time, Sam is practicing on her guitar when she notices Ian's folder for his meeting. She tries to call him but his phone goes to voicemail. She calls her friend Lottie and rushes to his meeting. We then see Ian taking a breath as he starts his meeting. Sam rushes in to provide Ian with his folder, only for Sam to realize that she has a duplicate. She feels embarrassed and rushes out, leaving Ian mildly upset. Sam is also a music teacher for a group of kids. She has a favorite student named Oliver that she adores. Ian's at a bar, complaining about Sam ruining his meeting. As they play a game of pool, his friend misplaced his shot and sent the ball airborne, shattering Ian's glass. Ian ignores Sam's call as he takes off. It's evening now. Ian calls a cab to Clifton Hall. The driver is aware of the music school, somehow knowing that Ian's girlfriend is playing there tonight and that they have trouble in their relationship. Ian opens up and says that he can't seem to make her happy, yet he claims to love her deeply. He mentions that she is going home for 2 weeks. The driver asks, "What if she never comes back, can you live with that?" Ian replies that he can't. The driver goes on to say that you know what to do. Appreciate her and just love her as he stops at a shop for flowers, claiming he can't show up empty-handed. Sam plays in the graduation concert and performs well, while Ian and Lottie watches on with applause. Ian meets Sam and they get ready to leave for dinner, but not before her favorite student Oliver congratulates her. He wishes he was just a few years older, as Sam adores the comment. Sam shows Oliver's card to Ian and he just shrugs it off and says they need to leave, showing no interest. At dinner, Ian complains that his meeting was a disaster as Sam tries to apologize. Ian brings Sam down, yet he mentions that he wants to keep trying. Sam states that she doesn't because Ian never talks about himself. She goes on to mention how horribly he treated her favorite student. She states that she just wants to be loved. She breaks up with him and leaves. Ian runs after her and asks her to stay as she jumps in a cab. The same driver from earlier asks Ian if he's coming or staying as the clock hits 11 p.m., the same time his watch is stuck on, taking too long to decide. Sam eventually pulls the door closed and they leave. They stop at the light ahead and Ian starts running after her. Another car then collides with them. In the hospital, Sam is fighting for her life, a battle she ultimately loses as Ian watches in tears. We see Lottie running through the hospital to find Ian and cries with him. Ian goes through her diary and reads about the song she wrote about them as he collapses on the bed in tears. The next morning, Ian wakes up and notices his watch is fixed. He hears Sam and looks back and sees her. Out of shock, he screams. He's unable to grasp that she's alive as she hugs him. He soon notices that the day started the same as yesterday. He tries to tell her what happened but can't find the words. This time he notices that she doesn't burn by the kettle but still manages to burn herself by the hair iron. He starts to question what's happening. They leave for work as before, but Sam is concerned with how Ian is acting. Ian suggests that they take a different route. He tried to prevent Coca-Cola from being spilled on her but was unable to stop it. He then realizes that it wasn't a dream. He notices that things are happening a little differently and tells Sam that he knew it would happen, but he chooses not to mention her death, only stating that it was awful. He explains a few of the incidents that happened so far, and she decides not to go home and change. Instead, she walks him to his office to ensure that his watch does not break. Upon arriving, he checks to see that it's still okay and settles down a bit. He says he will see her at her concert as they part ways. Ian has his meeting and everything seems to be going well. He even checks a few times if Sam is going to barge in. Without seeing her, she noticed that he had his folder and left immediately. After the meeting, he's at the same bar. Ian tells his friends that he got the investment from his meeting. His friend shoots the same shot in pool, and this time, Ian manages to catch the ball in midair. We then see Ian getting into a cab and it's the same driver as the day before. He goes on to mention that the driver knew things about his life, making him realize that no matter the outcome, the day will end the same. He asks the driver for ways to avoid the accident. The driver says the same thing. Appreciate what you have, and just love her. He asks the driver to let him out of the cab and as he wants to pay, the driver states that Ian paid him yesterday. Ian rushes over to the school where Sam teaches. She's not at the school. He goes home to check her schedule and rushes off to Lottie's place. He asks the janitor if he can let him into Lottie's apartment because he needs to find Sam. The janitor goes on to say that everyone loves Sam and he wishes he was a few years younger. Ian notices his name is Oliver, reminding him of young Oliver, who expressed a similar desire for Sam. In Lottie's apartment, he sees a canvas on the wall, jogging his memory about Lottie's art gallery. Ian rushes in at the gallery to tell Sam that things have changed since yesterday and he has to get her out of London. Ian says he will have Sam back in time for her concert as an accident happens close to them. Ian told Sam to book a train to anywhere she wanted. While in the train, Ian realizes that Sam is taking him home, where he grew up and played soccer. Ian is taking Sam to the peak of the mountain and mentioning that it brought him solitude and peace. It starts to pour while they make their way to a little rundown house on the hill. Sam wants to know about his family, but Ian just wants to forget everything and be there with her. He makes a fire, and in doing so, he breaks his watch, stopping it at 11 p.m. A look of worry sets in as he looks over at Sam. Ian asks Sam what she would do if she had one day left. It's an easy answer and says she'd spend it with him. She goes on to say that nothing could hurt them if they could share everything with each other. They then made love. When the rain stops, Sam asks if they're going to the top of the mountain. Ian says no and decides to take her to his home, showing her a photo of his father. He goes on to say that his father lost his job and spent most of his days in the bar, and Ian is determined to not let that happen to him, saying that his dad was his hero and that watching his hero drink himself to death was painful. Sam believes that death doesn't put an end to love, as she wipes his tears. They travel back to London. When they arrive, Ian takes Sam on the London Eye, but Sam is afraid of heights and Ian comforts her, stating that he is with her as the doors close. Sam tells a British joke that she heard from Lottie. They both have a good laugh. Sam then goes on to thank Ian for the perfect day. Back at the apartment, they are getting ready for Sam's graduation. Ian asks Sam, when will she let people hear her songs? She says one day, someday, as she avoids the topic. Ian distracts Sam so he can take the page from her notebook and tells Sam that he needs to run by the office. Ian rushes to a print shop to make multiple copies and states he will be back shortly. He then runs off to the jewelry store. We then see Ian rushing to the concert with the copies and flowers. He goes straight to Sam's graduation group and hands over the copies to the organizer. He then asks the backroom staff to give the flowers to Sam before the concert starts, with a note saying, one day, someday, is here, leaving Sam confused. The concert begins and while everything went perfectly, the performance wasn't over yet. They turn over to the last page, and Sam is in shock to see the song she wrote. You then hear Ian over the mic, introducing Sam to the audience, to perform her song. Sam looks terrified at Ian as he tells her not to let down her future fans. Sam is nervous as the note plays on repeat, waiting for her to sing. She builds up the courage and starts to sing the song she wrote about Ian and her, and soon lets go of her fear, giving a stunning performance. The crowd burst into applause as Sam ran into Ian's arms. After the concert, they walked to the restaurant with Sam overjoyed, explaining how a certain calm came over her. She goes on to say that she was amazed by the feeling. At the restaurant, they talk about the day they just had. Ian found out that Sam was at his meeting, but she saw his folder in his hand and left. Ian asks Sam to close her eyes. He gives her a charmed bracelet with different meanings. He goes on to mention that some of the charms are old and some are new. A musical note for a violin, a flower, which he describes as exquisite, just like Sam, the train they took today, the Eiffel Tower that she always wanted to see, and a heart, symbolizing Ian's love for her. They sit in silence as Sam cries with joy. They leave the restaurant. It's raining and they run around the corner to get a cab, and Ian notices that it's the same spot the accident took place. Ian tells her that he loves her and she needs to hear it. He says that if he didn't do things differently like today, he would not have known what true love was. He thanks her for being the person who taught him to love. Sam starts to cry and doesn't know what to say, to which Ian replies, you don't need to say anything. A cab pulls up, and Sam gets in and asks if he's coming. Ian replies, of course, and jumps in next to her. They then go on to kiss. He looks forward and sees the clock hit 11 p.m. He starts breathing heavily as the cab pulls away and he gets a few flashbacks. When he sees the car's lights, he reaches over to protect Sam as the car drives into them. At the hospital, you see Lottie running once again. This time, it's Sam sitting on the bed. Sam can't believe he's gone, questioning why she's here and he isn't. Sam tells Lottie about Ian's premonition. She goes on to mention that Ian told her that she taught him to love. She cries and says that loving him was so easy for her. She says that Ian just wanted to say everything before he died, as Lottie holds her. 6 months later, Sam is holding Ian's watch. Everything is packed into boxes as she takes a last look at the apartment. We see her singing in a restaurant, with Lottie watching on. We then see Sam climbing the same mountain they climbed that day. She continues to the spot that Ian spoke of at the peak of the mountain, staring out into the beautiful view, searching for the same solitude that Ian spoke of. Thank you for watching. Like and subscribe for more videos.